Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, you're going to have Annett. Annett's from Norway. So let's see what Annett has to say. Enjoy the interview. So hello Annett, how are you?
Nice to meet you, Willem. Fine, thank you.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
No, of course.
So tell me, how's your day going so far?
Good. It's amazing weather in Norway, so I've been out. We've actually gotten rid of the cold the first, yeah, time today, and I've been working. That's about it. Enjoying. And
So
you?
as yeah, it's been great. In London, it's been the warmest week so far this year. So it's been really, really great. I'm
Amazing.
So tell me where you from, Annette?
I'm from Norway, but I live half my life in Kenya and half my life in Norway.
And why is that?
Yeah, why is that? It's not a good answer necessarily to that. COVID came and I have big children and I was going to write a book and I thought, why don't I stay in on this island that I know
Uh-huh.
instead of spending my time here? And it was a good choice. And then I decided to continue to do it.
That's amazing. And where's about in Norway are you from?
Just outside Oslo.
Wow. So tell me, what's the biggest joy of living in Norway?
My kids are here basically. Um Nature,
Mhm.
absolutely. Also, having the four seasons, I think it's quite extraordinary.
Absolutely
So, yes,
amazing.
yeah,
And what do you do for work for living, Annette?
there are so many things. I have this capacity, I can read people's souls.
Oh,
So, yes, so that's why I have can live somewhere else, not, stay in one place, because most of my clients are internationally, so I can sit on the phone.
hmm,
I also have a course that teaches people how to step away from their negative thinking to create a positive environment with your
amazing.
mind and mindset. And so most of the things I do online, so I don't need to necessarily stay here.
That's amazing.
It
I think
is.
I think being able to help others to get people with a different mindset, it's a gift for sure.
It is so important, and especially because I think it has a much bigger impact that we fully understand because we go into fear and it
Mhm.
actually narrows us human beings and our creativity. So it literally takes away the quality of our lives and also our physical body has an impact on.
For sure, for sure.
Yes,
Okay, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey so far, okay?
please.
But before we start our journey within the magic box, I'd like to start the interview talking about a phrase that I saw on your profile that got my attention. It says there, always choose yourself. Yeah. So I'm sure it's based the work that you do. I'm sure it's that. But why this phrase is displayed on your social media? Why is that?
I think it's much more profound that we think because we tend to live, at least, evolution, the last decades, we tend to
Mhm.
live our lives based on our surroundings, based on the collective. And because additionally we have fear that adds on top of it, we become even more and more narrowed. And what we never actually thoroughly questioned or went deep into, I think, worldwide, is that the information that we already have, our identity, is not something that we chose. It was
Mhm.
actually something that was given to us through our upbringing. Rightly or wrong, it doesn't really matter. That's not the essence because, it's only about learning anyway. But as long as you understand that it's not ours, and when we understand that the neuroscience of the brain doesn't like to learn new things, it
Mhm.
actually hates it and goes into protective mode, then we
Wow.
know that we have an issue in front of us that we actually have to dive into, we have to look into. Otherwise, we're going to diminish our blueprint, which is unique, and we never will be able to execute it because we're actually living on somebody else's information. That's
Totally.
why I choose you.
Amazing. Oh, wow, that's very powerful for sure. I love it. Annett, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through memories in life and share your point of views?
Of course, if I can help or be present in it, of course.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box.
Good.
So I have here my best friend. Full of random fun questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna play a song that's first to relax before the first question. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
It's okay.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the interview, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? First question is, what do you like the most about your best friends?
First of all, I can always rely on them being authentic and being present.
Mhm.
And if I disagree or I want to go further into a topic, they are willing to go there with me and not go in defense. I think there's one thing I'm allergic to is defense.
Right. And saying that, what's the biggest difference between you and your best friends and the biggest similarity?
The biggest difference is that I am just so different, and there is an accept there that it doesn't really matter.
Mhm.
Similarity, I think the belief that everything can change. There is not stagnation on in anything or any topic. So there is movement no matter
Wow.
what.
And so far, like right this moment in your life, which person you are more close to or more connected with right now?
Myself.
Wow, love it. Why is that?
Because I love the way I dare to explore. I dare to go deep into uncomfortableness, going
Mhm.
into the pettiness, if you want to call it that. I don't think negative sides, I don't like to even call it negative, is somewhere where I can explore and find new information, except for that, I live with my sister, and we are total opposites. And that's also something that really, it's very, very nice.
What's the biggest joy of being Annett? What do you like the most about being you?
I love being different. I love loving my own company. I
Mhm.
love my creativity. I
Yeah.
love that I never ever say no to something. I jump all the time. I love there are no boundaries.
Okay.
I can keep on going. Are you sure you want me to answer all of that?
What's your star sign astrology?
Sorry.
What's your star sign astrology?
I don't think I'm a typical one. I'm a Cancerian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. When you were talking about yourself a little bit, I thought maybe it could be Scorpio, maybe. Scorpio, we are very open, we are
No.
very
I,
curious.
Scorpio, I don't hold grudges whatsoever. Where I live in Kenya, I live with my ex boyfriend, and I don't do grudges. So I'm
Wow,
definitely not a Scorpio.
cleared. Amazing. Next question, let's do it. Hey, Annette from Norway. Next question is, who has been the most influential person in your life and why?
Oh, there is many things or many aspects of that, because I think absolutely every single one of the people I met along my way has created an opening for me to research and to see my story and how it's created to who I am today and solve the topics. I mean, solve my finding out my identity. I've needed every single one of them. So I don't think there's one special that is. It must be my sister that, we walk the same path and have been since, yeah, childhood.
I see. And saying that, tell me one of the first life lesson that life was taught you, like somehow that you felt very grateful for.
That being different, you are already outside the box. So you are kind of in a way lucky because you don't have to follow the society rules or
Yes,
your surroundings. So you can
yes,
kind of choose because you're already out and you're
love.
already labeled by some kind of word or sentence or, meaning. So, you can you're a little bit kind of spoiled because you're walking in the side lane.
I love that, and I must say, it feels so great being different, being weirdo, not fitting anywhere, even though sometimes can be a bit tricky. However, it's
Absolutely.
freedom. I love like knowing that, I don't fit here or I don't fit there. I can be part of anything, and I think that's the beauty of being different and weirdo. I love it. It's a gift.
Absolutely.
It's a gift. I love it.
Yeah, it is a gift. I agree.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it.
You know that you are the only one that can hear the music, right?
I know. That's why I made
Okay.
this beginning. Do, like,
Good.
do you like dancing, by the way?
I love dancing.
Right. So before the next question, tell me how Kenya came into your life, how the opportunity came along.
It was many years ago. I was there on vacation. I just gotten divorced and I went there and I just fell in love. It's a small remote island outside of Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back visiting every year with my kids as well. And then COVID came and I was going to write a book. And then I said, why don't I stay there? Why do I stay here? And
Wow.
that's how it started.
I
And I
see.
don't have this within me that I have, because people tend to say that, oh, you're so brave in it. I'm not brave. It's just that I don't have, I have ignorance. I'm naive. I just don't ask the consequent questions, what is going to happen if this and that. I just
Yes.
don't have those questions, built inside. So I
I,
do, and then I see what happens, and then I solve the issues for whatever,
I see. So half of your year is spent there and half of your year is spent in Norway.
Almost. I have 5 months in Kenya and then 7 months here, approximately.
I see. And what Kenya has taught you so far?
That I know nothing,
Wow.
that that I can't bring my upbringing or what I've learned here to Kenya because it's a completely different. There's two different islands. I live on one of them, but
Mm-hmm.
in Kenya, this is the only place I have physical clients. Then I take my little boat over to the next island, which is a
Oh,
very Orthodox Muslim little village.
okay.
And there is no information I have. If I was going to bring with me what I think I know, it
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't work. There
Right.
is nothing, and also there I live by nature,
Oh,
tides in and out, solar, there's no neighbors. I have goats, chickens, dogs, there's nothing, that outdoor toilet. The 2 first years, we didn't even have an outdoor toilet. We went to the toilet in the channel. So, it's just, you just have to let go of all you think and then, start from scratch.
oh, wow. Amazing. Next question is that a dream you always had?
I don't do dreams.
Okay.
I execute when I feel that now I need to change or do something. I do it. I don't go and build up. I find a way to do it, I suppose.
And you always had this mindset, this way of approaching life?
Yeah, always.
Wow.
The same with work. If there's some calling, then I figure it out and I do it. Yes, yes.
And what's the meaning of life for you?
I would say learning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Wow.
Learning comes with some sort of peace, I think, some sort of presence,
Yeah.
some sort of now that you don't get if you don't dive into the huge big topics. I think.
Yes, I totally agree. I think it's you know those days when you learn something new, you feel so thankful for it. It could be anything. It could be
Absolutely
anything.
anything.
Could be anything. And I was like,
Anything.
I feel the greatest when someone share with me something that I never knew it, or something that a curiosity, a silly
Yeah,
thing. You know what I mean? I go like, wow, that's amazing to know that. You know what I mean? It feels
absolutely.
it's great because we're gonna go to another place without knowing so much. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
the more that we can, you know, absorb and learn and sharing as well, I think
absolutely.
that's the beauty of it for sure. That's what life means for me. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Next question. Let's do it. Next question is, what's the best advice have you ever given to someone?
I'm not into advices. I do it on social media because that's what I work with. But
Okay.
advice, I don't think that I have. If I was going to give an advice, if I was specifically asked, I would say let go.
Mm-hmm.
Let go of all information. The information you know is just the ego stuck in your mind and it won't serve you because it's based on fear. So, yeah.
Tell me, when you think about your childhood memories, what's the best memory that comes to your mind?
Oh, the many. I think it's just feeling the freedom when I swim every morning in Kenya or swim here, and I'm totally alone. There's no people. Going for walks, being in nature. Being in nature, I think, is a big one. But also living remote there is it's quite extraordinary.
And you know, as you have the opportunity to see other countries and to live in Kenya, you know, what for you something different that you, when you think about, you know, your hometown, your country, Norway, when you go outside, you go like, there's something different about other cultures that the Norwegian people they don't have it, or something that you've never seen it. If you could share like one of the experience that you saw it, like living abroad.
I have one which I love about Kenya, and they say, I am sorry. But they don't say they're sorry because they're sorry that they did something wrong. They say they're sorry that you're in pain or that that disturbs you or that is a problem. That I
Right.
think is a beautiful, beautiful saying.
Wow. Cool. Next one. Let's do it. Okay, before the next question, let's talk about your page on TikTok. That's how we got connected. So my question for you is, when was the idea, when was the time for you? Okay, let me open a page where I can promote your business, you can connect with others, you can help others. Tell me when the idea came along.
Oh God, that's a good question. I think it started fall last year. I had a TikTok account, but it was stolen or taken. So I restarted it a few months back.
Okay,
Maybe when I left Kenya. Maybe when I left Kenya or when I just came back. I don't remember.
right.
And I thought, just being on the platform, saying and using the information I have, I thought, maybe somebody will make use of it. Maybe it resonate with somebody. Maybe, whatever.
And of course, you know, the job that you do, helping others and try to change their mindset for a, you know, a positive way. Of course, there is a lot of emotions there, a lot of energy going through both sides. My question for you is, do you have like a mechanism for you somehow, you know, of course, we have negativity. Sometimes it's impossible for you to not to have. I think we are, do you find a way for you to protect yourself sometimes, even though you are helping others? Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you have something that can protect your aura or protect you not to be involved somehow or not take this energy to your personal life, if you know what I mean.
I do. I think we overcomplicate it by things
Mm-hmm.
to do or to say or crystals or whatever. I think that when you accept that you are doing certain things and are aware and center yourself, you are naturally protected. And I work a lot, and why I can slash say it, I don't say it's true for everyone, but for me,
Mm-hmm.
I work a lot with helping people along the coast of Kenya with taking away, remove black magic.
Okay.
So, and I wouldn't be able to do that if I was affected. So I have to trust that there is a source, but also for me to be centered. But the second I'm not centered, then I
Uh-huh.
will be affected by different things. Yes.
I see. And how do you center yourself? How do you do that?
I don't make it complicated because you know exactly when you're not centered, when you're stepping into somebody else's information. You
Uh-huh.
just pull yourself back, feel that you are present, and just you can just scan your body and see that everything is okay. Your nervous systems, your cells, everything, and feel that you are here. The second you're aggravated or you are angry or there is something, there is a trigger and you're not centered, then you stepped into somebody else's information.
Do cry easily, Annette.
If I cry easily, super easily.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's my release. I cry when I need to detox. I cry romantic movies. I can, yeah, it's my detox, like walking, like sleeping. It's amazing.
Beautiful. Yeah, for sure. Next question is, what's your idea of a perfect day?
It could be so many things, but if I don't go for a walk in nature or go for my swim when I'm in Kenya, then it's half. My day will be half. It's my way of meditating or detoxing. I don't know, whatever word you want to put on it, but it's definitely me time.
Do you consider yourself to be more of a morning or an evening person?
Oh, definitely morning. I'm in bed by 9 and up by 5. No, 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 no.
Same here.
I do not understand evenings whatsoever.
I love the mornings. Do you know what I like
Yeah,
the most about the mornings is about the fresh air. As
yeah,
soon as I step out of my building, oh my God, it's fresh air. Even though if I haven't slept properly for some reason or if I rested properly,
yeah.
as soon as I step out of my building, I have this fresh air. I go like, wow, I feel the
It is
great.
amazing.
I feel
It is
amazing.
amazing. Yes. So
And the
absolutely.
energy, and the energy as well. I have my best energy of the day is in the morning. That's for sure. I get to work, people go like, "My God, William, how is it possible for you to be so electric in the morning?" I said, "I
Uh,
don't know. It's something. You know, that's why I work out in the morning because I have the
yeah.
greatest energy." And yeah.
If you follow your biological clock, you should be
Mhm.
in bed by 10 and wake up before 6. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the way it is.
Yeah.
3 questions left. Let's do it.
Go ahead.
Okay, next question is: if you won the lottery, what would be your first big splurge?
I think to make a community, I think, based on fear and
Mhm.
how to release fear and to make the community as a, I see a lot of ways they do work in Kenya and probably do a lot of places. But if you
Mhm.
make women responsible to kind of deliver the message downward, almost like if you're going to be in this community, you have to at least find 10 other people to give that information to. I think I would do that. I would travel and I would create these communities, I think.
And what would be the name of this community?
I have no idea. The course, the name of the course that I created, it's called Free Your Mind. So maybe that. I have no idea.
I like that. I thought you'd
Yeah.
say, always choose yourself.
Always, yes, that's a good, that's true. That's a very good one.
2 questions left. Let's do
Yeah.
it. Okay, before the next one, tell me what's the biggest joy of being a coach, the work that you do? What brings you the best about it?
Seeing that people do make changes and see when they understand it, when it clicks within the system, not only in your brain, but you fully experience it and see what kind incredible insight they get and how it impacts their life. That is the most incredible, I think.
And the opposite side, what do you find most challenging about it?
That we are so integrated into society and mind, because a lot of the women in my course are highly intelligent, very smart businesswomen, accomplished a lot of things, and the mind is destroying every step forward because they
Wow.
need to understand it. And I said, you don't need to understand anything. Feel. That is the biggest challenge for sure.
Wow. And what would you suggest people to, to be able to start the journey about feeling it? Like, how do you somehow work on it, if you could share?
The biggest and the most difficult part is to observe it, to understand it, what's going on. So be present and observe your mind, observe and be aware of what's happening when you step into fear zone, when you're doing control. Control is equal to fear. Seeing your pattern, writing it down. What stops you? Are you worried how other people perceive you? Are you worried, taking the board or the meeting, standing up for yourself, taking the front seat? What in your life, everyday life, stops you from creating? And
Mhm.
that's where your topic is. And that's what you need to dive into.
Do you think nowadays the world that we live right now with, not just technology, but the way people they are everything fast, I feel like everything's faster than before. Do you think that we are going the right direction? Do you think there are still a lot of things we need to work on for us to become a better person? How do you see that?
Oh, I think that if people are talking about the Third World War, this is just my perception. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it's going to be electrical. I don't think it's going to be all these things that we are afraid of. I think we are our own worst enemy. I
Mm-hmm.
think our mind is going to be our downfall for sure. And the more AI and ChatGPT is, getting integrated into our lives, the less of our creativity. And the creativity is the fuel for our nervous system, our cells, everything. So, we are literally creating our own downfall. Nature will survive. We are literally going to be lobotomated. Do you say that in English?
Not sure.
When in the old days, when you got electrocuted in your brain, if you
Right.
had anxiety, yeah, I don't
Right.
know the English word.
Me
So,
neither.
yeah, doesn't matter.
I think everyone will understand for sure.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. I think this question is going to be very easy for you. What scares you the most about your future?
Nothing.
I knew you'd say that. I knew it.
I, I have, it's quite interesting because neuroscience, there's only two fears that you're born with. Do you know what they are?
No, actually. Tell me.
No, it's high sound and heights.
Right.
The rest is man made. So I'm scared of heights.
Me
But
too.
yeah, but I do try to challenge myself, to do it. But it does come with some consequences for sure, bodily wise.
Totally. Okay. Last question. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Last one. Okay, before the last question, people when they see your page on TikTok, when they look into your message, your posts, what's something that you always wanted people to take with them?
I
Like,
never think of it as that, but I wish that there was a word or a sentence or something that they could bring along and it would have value.
I see.
There's not much that you need. It's just a tiny, tiny things that will make your mind change its course in some tiny, small, important way.
Okay. Last question is, what is the most beautiful thing someone has ever done for you?
Wow. I think just accepting me for who I am
Mhm,
and not trying to fit me into a box, because that's what happened all my life.
mhm,
Always a box I needed to go into, and it's just extremely tiring energetically.
uh-huh.
So I think that's, yeah.
And so far, what has been the most meaningful lesson you've learned from your children?
From my children, that I have raised them so free that they can challenge me.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think so.
Wow, I like that phrase. I raised them so free that they challenge me. I like that. I really
Yeah.
do. Wow, I like
Yeah.
that. Which for me, what means is just let them be. You always let them be. You always, you know, that's what I understood. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. I
Yeah.
have one son who is now sailing the Northwest Passage. And I have a daughter coming with me to Lamu, in Kenya. They just, they choose themselves, and I don't have any opinions of how or why or when. It's nothing to do with me. I
Wow.
gave birth. I tried the best I could with the freedom I thought was important, with the communication I thought was important,
Mhm.
and the rest has nothing to do with me.
Wow. Okay, so both of them, they're watching this interview right now and you have a moment, an opportunity to send them a message. What would you say?
I just keep on being the most extraordinary people you are and live every single day to the fullest.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah.
Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. I'm going to say one word and you just tell one word that comes to your mind, okay? Quick thinking, okay? One word for family,
Honesty,
money,
creativity,
fear,
mountains,
life,
exhilarating,
love,
duality,
wow, religion.
everything and nothing,
I like that. Sex.
freedom.
Like the way
I was gonna, do I have a different word?
totally. Politics,
Bullshit.
friendship,
Experience,
desire,
passion,
regret,
none,
success,
everything,
wish,
peace,
happiness.
always,
Wow. One word for Norway.
controversial,
Wow. One word for Kenya.
controversial as well.
Wow. And the last one now, if you could define your page on TikTok in one word, what that would be?
Generosity?
Beautiful. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your sister that you mentioned during the interview for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her. Define Annett in one positive and one negative word only. What she would say?
Tried everything. She wants to write that on my gravestone.
Wow. Is that the positive and the negative?
I think in her world is annoying, but also positive. There is some, yeah. I think there's duality there.
If I would ask the same question to your children, would be the same answer or not?
No. I think proud.
Okay.
Inspiring, proud. Yeah.
And negative?
Super difficult to argue with.
I bet. I bet. Beautiful. Let's play now, Annette, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before you ask me the question, through your career, that since you started your journey about helping others, tell me a moment or a situation that you're never gonna forget. Could be anything, something that, I'm sure you have a lot. I think connect with people, helping people, sharing experience. You always learn something. There is always a lot for us to take. But there is something that for you go like, you know what? I always remember that. If you could share the situation.
I think because what I work with mostly is that I work with non kind of written or verbal information. I get information. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the insight I get where I'm actually out of control. There's nothing I can do. There's something I can step up, learn something, or it just, I have to wait for information.
I
I think
see.
that is the most profound because it rips away absolutely everything within you that you think who you are and that you need to be a human being. I
I
think
see.
that's the most profound.
Amazing. Okay, you can ask me a question now, Annette.
If you could choose one thing, what would you take away and what would you add?
If I could choose something regarding what, like,
More about your personality. What is it that you would add and what would you take away and why?
oh, I got it. I understood. Beautiful question. Wow, I love the challenge. Something that I would take away. I'm gonna start with that because it's something that I don't know if it's because based on my growing up, my childhood regarding family, or maybe about my star sign, personality overall. But I realized that, I feel like sometimes when I meet someone, let's say interesting, that I feel attached to, I can be really overwhelming to this person, and that can suffocate. And also, not just that, I can be a bit, I can lose a little bit my perception about it. And I can be like, how can I explain that? Controlling or over on the person, that the person goes like, oh my god, that's too much for me, even though it's great, your company I like, but it's something that I get suffocated. But I think it's based on my childhood, because growing up I never had this affection from my parents. Not, I wouldn't change anything, by the way, I'm just saying that when I look back. So because I never had that, so I think when I get attached to someone, I just go for it, and I'm scared to lose that. Do you know what I mean? So that's something that if I could change about it. Once, a friend of mine, he said something really interesting, that he went straight away to the point. He said, William, you are like that because your dad abandoned you when you were a child. Not like abandoned me physically, but maybe he didn't give you this, figure, that this protection that usually, I get emotional talking about that, people has, So maybe that I'll change that, because it takes my energy away. The older I get, I'll work on it. Yeah, but I think that's something, if I would change that, I would take this away. Something that I like about it, something that I like about personality is that I see the good in people. I feel the good in people. It's something about it that I would never take this away from me, because I've been told that once. I never thought about that. My previous relationship, um, his godmother said, "Oh, William, he can see good in people. That's why he never complains, or he never talk about because he sees, even though the other person have some negative side, he doesn't see that." So I think that's something that I always had, and I never thought about that until someone pointed, and I was like, "Oh, it makes a bit of sense now," because I have the tendency of believe or see that there's some good coming from this person, not just if even something negative. I think there's something good behind for this expression of negativity. So I'd go for both, choose those both. Yeah, I don't know if I answered your question properly, but that's what
Oh,
came.
absolutely. Very good answer. Very good. I have one more because your conversations are so great. And this is not criticism. This is just,
Okay.
I'm asking, why do you have all these colors and all this focus around that takes away a little bit of the focus of the conversation with the people that you have?
When you say colors, what do you mean?
When I go to TikTok, you have all these flags and all this. It's
I see. Okay. I think it's a way for two reasons. Because when I do the clips, I always have this, blank around the video, and I want to put some more colors. I want to put something related to what the message is. Could be, and I always put the country as well for people to know where they're from, just for about connect with others. They go like, oh, this, and I come from the same country, or I like to see that, because I realize that people, they sometimes when they make comments like, oh my god, it's from my country, or I like that, I know this area. So it's something about, it's about the globe. It's because the
yeah.
magic ball go around the globe, so it's just about seeing that it's going everywhere. And the other thing I put is just about the, of course, promoting, like the logo within the magic box, of course there. However, if there's something about talking about I don't know, something challenge, or a coach, something that when I put there, when I write the name, if it comes up a nice picture, I feel like, okay, that could be good for this one, just about that.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That's nice. Thank you for sharing.
Just to put more colors around, not to be
Yeah.
blank, the video, what I
Yeah.
mean. I like to have some more, to get some attention, for people to see it, to make it more beautiful, to make more interesting, or get some attention. That's the only reason. I never been asked that, actually. I like it.
Interesting. Okay, thank you.
Did you like the interview, Annette?
Very much. You're a good interviewer.
Thanks
Good
again.
questions.
Thanks again for being so kind and accepting my invitation.
No, thank you.
I know you're very busy and you made the time for it.
No, it's nice. It's very nice. Thank you.
Before we go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
I think I was on a call the other day, and I think everyone came up with, the world is such a horrible place and there's so many bad things happening. And I think it's important. It's the time throughout all of history, it's never been more peaceful. And I think it's important to go there, that we don't dive into the negativity of everything. We do it in everyday life, of how people treat us, how the traffic is, how people talk, how they, and now the politics and the world. I think it's important to also hold on to the positive. Otherwise, we're going to spiral down. Yes, all the different topics in the world are horrible, but we need to focus on something else to make a change, I think.
And there's also positive as well. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
always.
Yes.
Let's keep hold it to us.
Yes, it's important, I think.
Thanks again, okay? Regards to your kids and your family, and you keep in touch. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you so much. You too.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.